Hello once again, Niner Faithful, and welcome back to another episode of 49ers Playbook on the channel that's trying to answer the whys and hows of the game. Much has been made of whether or not Brock Purdy is a franchise quarterback the 49ers should make an investment in to keep as their quarterback long term. 12 months ago, the answer would have been nearly unanimous that Brock Purdy would become the highest paid quarterback in the league. After an up and down third season, there's a lot of different opinions about whether or not Brock Purdy should get a big time extension. To his detractors, Purdy is a physically limited quarterback who needs a lot of weapons around him to be successful. For others, the success on the field can't be denied. But we're going to go to the film and see, does Brock Purdy have the qualities necessary to become a $60 million a year quarterback? Well, you're watching Johnny Dell's Football Academy. When we look at Brock Purdy, we have to ask, what traits does he have that make him successful? The film speaks loudly on this, and the traits that stand out the most are processing speed, anticipation, accuracy, he can make all the throws, and the ability to create. So let's see examples of these from the film. First, the processing speed. Sometimes the processing isn't about the big time plays or making a throw at 3 seconds while getting to the 5th read. Sometimes it's about how do you streamline the process. Here against the Eagles, Purdy first is going to see off coverage on the back end. We motion late into a 4x1 and you can see the Eagles trying to roll coverage to that side, and with no one traveling indicating zone. For Purdy, he has a 1-3 progression to that side, but with the coverage indicating a roll, off coverage in zone, he knows he'll have a sure win with Brandon Ayuk on a 6-yard out route. So before he even takes a snap, he knows that's where he's going with the ball and delivers it for a nice gain to set up 3rd and short from 2nd and long. It seems so simple, yet seeing it, taking the win, streamlining and delivering an accurate ball on the more rudimentary plays are the things the great quarterbacks like Brady, Breeze, Manning did far more than the highlight throws, and made their offenses so hard to stop. One former NFL coach said he was cutting up plays just like this as teach tape, just like he used to do from Drew Brees. If we go back to Purdy's first lengthy game action after Jimmy G went down, we saw this. Here, we're going to do a very similar play. It's a 4x1 formation, but instead of an out route to Ayuk, we had a slant. To the 4 receiver side, it's a spot concept, which is a spot route, corner route, and a flat route, and we add in a lead blocker for the flat route so it's like a swing pass. That's also the progression, 1 to the spot, 2 to the corner, 3 to the flat. Here, Purdy sees a 5-man front with coverage rolled to the 4 strong side. At the snap, he sees the coverage stay put and hits the easy slant to Ayuk. Later in the same game, we came back to it. Miami is showing a 5-man front. This time, the coverage isn't rolled as hard. At the snap, he checks the slant, and this time they do keep an underneath defender on the slant. So Purdy moves to the spot progression and works through the spot to the corner and into the flat and gets it to Debo. Same play, 2 different targets. So on the very next play, we come again with the same play, 4x1 with a spot concept and a single side slant. Miami again shows a 5-man front, and this time they look to roll coverage to the 4 strong side. At the snap though, they drop an end into coverage on the slant. Purdy peeks to it, sees the end drop, and works to the spot side where the spot is open for a first down. Same play, 3 different coverages, 3 different routes thrown, all with really fast processing. If we fast forward to 2023 against the Steelers, we're going to run the same play, 4 strong spot concept with a single side slant. The Steelers are showing a 4-man front with TJ Watt to the single receiver side and coverage is rolled to the 4 strong side. So it looks like the slant will be there. But at the snap, the Steelers drop Watt into coverage with an 8-man coverage, not what you'd expect. Purdy sees it and pulls it down and again quickly moves to the 4 strong side where he hits the spot route. Here against the Cardinals, we'll see him get deep into the progression. We're trying to run a double post concept with an underneath trail concept. The double post is exactly what it sounds like, 2 post routes. Then the trail is a shallow crossing route paired with an arches route. The idea is it gives a horizontal stretch at both levels and a vertical stretch. The Cardinals are running a Vic Fangio staple, cover 4 tricks, which is cover 4 to the 3 receiver side and the 2 receiver side in man, and the weak side safety cross keying to the 3 receiver side. Out of the run fake, Brock is looking to the double post, but the trick safety takes away Ayuk, which allows the strong safety to take away Kittle on his post. Then with the Mike sitting over the middle, it takes away Debo on a shallow crossing route. That's 1 to 3 in the progression. So what that does is leave the weak side hook in man coverage on CMC, and Purdy reads through the progression to get to CMC for the touchdown. People will say it's the weapons, but the weapons don't get the ball if the quarterback doesn't get through his reads quickly, on time, and correctly. Then the processing speed leads to the second key attribute, anticipation. Brock Purdy is one of the best anticipation throwers in the NFL. One of the staples in the 49ers offense is the drift concept. It's hard run action paired with a drift route. But to work right, the quarterback has to read the defense quickly and get the ball out on time in the first window. Here you can see the run action suck up the underneath defenders and the window opens over the middle. Brock has started his throwing motion well before Kittle breaks into the void. And the ball placement doesn't lead Kittle into the big hit, so he's able to get more after the catch. Here against the Cardinals, you'll see the same thing. Drift concept, but this time, Kyle's asking Purdy to fake to one side, flip his hips, and make the throw. This is a lot harder than it seems. But you can see the run fake hold the under coverage. The first window is there, but the throw won't be as over the middle as the one we just saw. But again, he's in his windup well before Ayuk is in the window. The processing into anticipation allows yards after the catch. Here, we're first going to motion McCaffrey outside, and with a corner on him, reveal zone coverage. With a 2 safety look, this looks like cover 2 zone. We're going to have the 3 receiver side run what Kyle calls a blind concept, which is a 3 route paired with a shallow crossing route and a choice out China, which works well against cover 3 zone as it would put the 2 middle zone players in a triangle stretch. To the 2 receiver side, we have a sucker concept, or what Kyle calls a pull shallow. It's a short curl, or sometimes a pull under route paired with a pull basic route. If you're really interested in the route names and the details of the routes, I go through all of them in detail on my members website, jfa49.com, where you can become a member of our coaching staff and directly support content just like this. There's the basic support tier of quality control coach, position coach, where you get access to all of our exclusive content like the route tree, and then the extra support tier of coordinator. Thank you so much to those of you who are members already and supporting this video. It's the coaching staff who are the financial support to make videos like this possible. If you like these videos, please consider becoming a member at jfa49.com today. But the pull shallow paired with the blind concept will work because in Tampa 2, the Mike is responsible for matching the number 3 receiver, in this case Kittle, down the middle of the field. That would isolate the weak side hook player in a vertical stretch with the pull shallow concept. So Purdy has several answers for possible coverages he could see. What he has to do is verify post-snap that the coverage will be a Tampa 2 zone by the safeties, then verify that the Mike matches the number 3, then read the weak side hook player who's in a vertical stretch. That's exactly what he does, reads the hook player to take the underneath route, and see the processing paired with the anticipation, and he's throwing this ball well before Ayuk breaks into the window, where it's a really accurate throw to keep Ayuk in stride and get more yards after the catch. That's really high-level quarterback play. Here against the Packers in the playoffs, Green Bay is showing a muddy shell look pre-snap. We have a pick-a-side read with a pair of bench concepts, which is a bench route or a deep out route paired with a flat route. So post-snap, the Packers will go into cover 3 sky. and Purdy is going to work the 3 receiver side, which makes sense because you can see how much the safety in the flat isn't gaining as much depth, keeping eyes on Christian McCaffrey. But with the corners in a bail deep third, he knows he's got good leverage on the deep out, and again, the processing speed to see it, know he's got it, ball out with great anticipation well before his receiver gets into his break, and delivers a really accurate ball for a chunk gain. Here against Detroit, we'll see the processing, anticipation, and ability to throw from a dirty pocket. This is one of the best throws you'll see a quarterback make. We're in 11 personnel with 3 receivers, and with all 3 to one side, it provides a coverage check. With a linebacker the nearest defender over Debo, and a corner over George Kittle, we know this is going to be zone coverage. And with a single safety presentation, most likely cover 3 zone. We're running a basic concept with Kittle and Garendo, which is a basic route paired with a rail route. It looks to put a matching third corner in conflict. What that means is that some defense will task a deep third corner with matching any route deeper than 8 yards, so the weak side hook can key to crossing routes from the 3 receiver side. This is what Purdy is reading for. If the corner matches Kittle, he'll hit Garendo. If he bails off on Garendo, he'll look to hit Kittle over the middle. As he's dropping back, he sees the corner match Kittle and steps up into a really dirty pocket, making a jumping throw to Garendo on the rail route, which is another trait that stands out from Purdy, his accuracy in the pocket, clean or dirty. Here, we'll see how over the years all that yak was possible. We're going to hit Pearsall after a run action fake on a crossing route. You can note the anticipation as Purdy is in his windup before Pearsall breaks into the window. But from the end zone, you'll see just how accurate this ball is. Pearsall never has to break stride at all and gets huge yards after the catch. Here we see Kittle on the same play. It's tight coverage, and even with the threats closing in on him, you can't place this ball any better than this. Or here, you have a bust in protection by Garendo, but Purdy still puts his ball in the perfect location. You can't place these throws any better. And with accuracy, he can make all the throws. He's shown time and time again the ability to make the layered throw or a touch pass that has to make it over the first level but beat the second level to the spot. Here against Dallas, they roll late into cover 2 zone. And with the Mike not gaining much depth, Purdy knows he'll have a window over the middle but has to make the layered throw, and you can't make this throw any better than this. Here against the Bears, we're running a divide plus Seattle concept, which is a through route paired with a rail route and a deep out route. Brock initially wants to hit the rail route as Chicago has rolled into a cover 2 zone. Not sure what causes him to turn it down, but most times when you have a turn down on a route, it doesn't lead to good things. Here, he's able to still gather himself and make the layered throw to Kittle for a big gain, holding him up in the void. Then, against the Dolphins, we see Miami is showing cover 3 zone pre-snap. We have a Mills concept, which is a basic route, paired with a post route, and we pair it with a shallow crossing route from the other side. If Miami was in cover 3, you'd expect Brock to work the basic to the shallow crossing, as that would put an underneath player in a vertical stretch. Post-snap, Miami drops into an invert cover 2, with the deep middle safety dropping down as a Mike. So now the primary read will be a high-low on the Mike. Brock sees the Mike key on Kittle for the basic, and you're seeing all these traits coming together. The processing, the anticipation, the accuracy, and the layered throw. This is not a play many quarterbacks in the league actually make. Let's be clear about that. Much has been made about Purdy's arm strength, or that he's limited in his arm strength. But like I said, he can make all the throws. Here against the Vikings, they're showing a too high defense pre-snap. And we have Jennings on a chains route and Ayuk on a tree route or a 10-yard out route. Brock is going to see Minnesota go to one of their staples, a 4-deep zone blitz, so he knows he'll have Ayuk on the tree route. This is the far hash deep out throw. It's the throw they make all the quarterbacks perform at the combine to see if they have the arm strength to be an NFL quarterback. Well, he shows it here in a game. He's made this far hash out route throw a bunch of times, and you see it with the anticipation, accuracy, processing. Well, what about deep outside the numbers? Here, he's making a throw to Deebo Samuel on what's called a sky route. The sky is a landmark throw at 21 yards on the sideline, and you can't place this ball any better to Deebo for the touchdown. Here he is making the same throw to Brandon Ayuk, 21 yards to the sideline. Can't place it any better. Here against the Giants, we're going to Deebo on a slant and go or sluggo. Perfect ball location deep down the sideline. Here against Seattle, we're running a Skinner concept, which is the through route paired with a widened Skinner route and would work well against a 2-deep defense to get Ayuk open in the middle, or against a midfield closed defense put the safety in a horizontal stretch. Post-snap, the Seahawks drop into cover 3 buzz, and with the middle safety shaded towards Ayuk, Purdy is going to see Jamal Adams flat-footed and drop a perfect deep throw to Deebo for the touchdown. Here against the Commanders, we start out by motioning Elijah Mitchell out wide, and with a linebacker covering him, reveals man coverage. To the top, we have a levels concept dialed up as a zone beater or a 2-man beater. And to the bottom, we have the old Haas concept or hitches outside with a seam, which is a cover 1 man beater. At the snap, Brock sees the single safety and does a great job with head discipline holding the middle safety, and then puts the ball on a line with an absolutely perfect throw to Brandon Ayuk for a huge gain deep down the sideline. Here against Tampa Bay, they're showing press man, single safety, and we're also running Haas. And you'll again see Brock do a great job holding the middle safety, and then another pinpoint throw deep down the sideline to Ayuk, who sets a record for the longest touchdown pass in 49ers history. So he has the arm strength to make the throws. He has the accuracy. And he's brought the playmaking ability in the second play. So here, when it's covered and the protection breaks down, he's able to roll to his left and make a pinpoint throw to Ayuk. Here against the Rams, the protection breaks down and he's able to buy time, roll out, and find Jennings for the touchdown. Against the Commanders, the initial play isn't there and the protection isn't great, but he's able to somehow avoid the rush, roll out, and find Ayuk for the touchdown. Then when the throw isn't there to make the plays, he's been able to make the plays with his legs. Against the Steelers, he was able to escape and get a big play to effectively run out the clock. Against the Lions in the NFC Championship game, it was a couple big plays Purdy was able to make with his legs that was the difference in the game. When you evaluate Brock Purdy as a quarterback, there's no reason you can find not to pay Purdy as a top guy in the league and make him the 49ers quarterback for a long time to come. He processes the game extremely well, throws with anticipation at an elite level, has incredible accuracy with the football, can make all the throws, and brings a playmaking ability once the play breaks down. He has shown all the traits of a franchise quarterback, and the 49ers are going to give him a massive extension this offseason. Hope you enjoyed the video. Like and subscribe if you haven't already, and make sure to have your notifications turned on to be alerted to when a video goes live so you can catch every episode of the JFA podcast this offseason, especially as we'll be in Mobile next week covering the Senior Bowl. You can also catch every episode of the JFA podcast wherever you get your podcasts. But until next time, stay safe, stay healthy, and go Niners.